Hi there, it's Gabrielle Nicolay from SpeechKids, and today I wanted to talk to you about battery-operated toys. And this is something that comes up every now and again in my practice, working with small children with speech and language delays. But it's something that parents often ask me about, regardless of whether or not their kids are in speech therapy. And so I just wanted to talk to you about that today. So there are many battery-operated toys in the world. And they purport to do a lot of different things, right? They will promise to teach your kid the alphabet and the numbers and colors and Spanish and other languages. And I think sometimes as parents, we get sold a bill of goods about what toys can do for our kids. And if you watched the videos on what does play have to do with speech and language, you know that play is hugely important to speech and language development. And so battery-operated toys are part of this panoply of, things that kids play with. But let's unwind that a little bit. And I want to describe to you sort of what happens when a child plays with a battery-operated toy. And then we're going to compare that with what happens when a child plays with a different kind of toy. So one of the toys that came up recently was one of these boxes that has one side is music, one side is counting, one side is shapes and colors or something like that, right? So you turn it on and you push the button and it plays a song. And then you let that song play and then you press it and it plays a different song. You guys all know how this goes. You all have battery operated everything in your house, I know. And we all do. But here's the thing. While a battery operated toy does provide some cause and effect, right? You push the button, something happens. It's the same thing in the same way every single time. And because of the way that children's brains are wired, which is usually after one exposure, they're familiar with it. After 3 or 4 exposures, they've integrated it, right? And again, this is in typical development. So 1 exposure becomes semi-familiar. 3 to 4 exposures, it becomes really familiar and known. There's really no reason for your child to have this battery-operated toy that does the same thing in the same way every single time. Now, if you've got a child who has any kind of developmental issue going on, it can get messy in a hurry because the toy does the same thing in the same way every single time. You're actually cementing a neural pathway that is only secure, and again, this is, I'm not sort of condemning anybody to anything here, but what you are doing when you present a battery-operated toy to somebody who has maybe needs a little bit more help developing some play skills is you're cementing a neural pathway that only will accept one way of being responded to, right? So their brains become accustomed and attuned to only wanting the response in the way that they always get it. So a child who needs a lot of sameness will push the button on a battery-operated toy and get it every single time. And they become accustomed to that. But here's the catch. Life is not like that, right? Life changes. And in fact, the best way to raise resilient human beings is to expose them to little bits of novelty all the time. And we do that first because play is the work of children. We do that through play. When you introduce a battery-operated toy, you're stripping away the novelty of the response. So cause and effect, yes, but you're removing the novelty from the situation. And for some children, not all, But for some children, that can fix neural pathways that you don't want to be fixed. We want those neural pathways to be flexible. And in some kids, they have a harder time developing flexible neural pathways. And so battery-operated toys are just feeding the beast. And so, hey, Katina, thanks for being here. And so we really want to provide opportunities for novelty in play. And battery-operated toys will never do that. So that's my pitch about how battery-operated toys work. Let's contrast that with, and really most battery-operated toys, right, are push a button, get something to happen. Push a lever, slide a lever, something happens. First of all, there are non-battery options where you can do that, right? Any shape sorter, plastic, wooden, whatever, has that same option, right? You put the toy in, you put the shape in, it goes in the box. You take it out, it comes out. You have to sort of use your eyes and look around and match the outline of the shape with the actual shape that you're putting in. Shape sorters are a really, really excellent toy for kids of many ages, actually. Mostly toddlers, but also older kids. And so that builds in that cause and effect. A wooden spoon and some Tupperware will also give you cause and effect, right? You hit the spoon on the Tupperware very, very hard, it makes a loud sound. You hit the spoon on the Tupperware very, very softly, it makes a softer sound. So again, remember what I said about programming for novelty. You've got an experience where there is cause and effect, right? I do something, something happens. But that something is different every time. And for some kids, that is key. That is the way in which they will learn to be flexible and to expand and to play well. And so that only can happen when the effect that you're getting is different every time. And so, and again, that's something that a battery-operated toy that does the same thing in the same way every single time will never give a child. So I recently recommended to a family, and I do this periodically again, that they just get rid of them. I said, if you can tolerate it, remove all your battery-operated toys from your house and go with stuff that does not give you the same response every time you play with it. You can use this video to share with your family if you want them to understand about why battery-operated toys may not be the best option. And I would really encourage you to seek out options that provide flexibility in play in a way that battery-operated toys really don't. So those are my thoughts for today. I would love to hear from you in the comments section, and I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.